Hi, I'm Peter Kate, endurance racing driver with Aston Martin, and this is the Dinner Plate Challenge. This is for racers, gamers, race fans everywhere. You can all have a go. All you're going to need is a dinner plate, a laptop with a good onboard lap, preferably one that's not disturbed by traffic, and very importantly, this anti-cheat device to make sure that there's no mirrors or tricks or people giving you signals from behind the camera. So, what's it all about? Well, a while ago I heard about F1 drivers visualising the perfect lap in their minds, and they could do that so accurately that they would cross the line pretty much at the same time that they would have crossed it in reality. And I thought, I'll give it a go. But actually, I thought I'd rather do it with a bit more of a challenging lap, because F1 laps are quite short, minute and a half, something like that. So I'm going to do this with the Nürburgring Nordschleife, 24 hours track configuration. I'm going to do it in an old car that I had the privilege to drive with Aston Martin, a GT4 Vantage V8. I chose that car because I love driving it, very few driver aids and so on. But more importantly, it's one of the few clear laps I've actually enjoyed on the Nürburgring Nordschleife. So here we go. I'm going to start it up. I've got to put the blindfold on and then we'll get going. So I've given us a little bit of a run in here. I think I need to move the mouse. I've obviously muted it so that there's no chance I can hear anything. And off we go. It's running. So here we go with the blindfold. Should be coming down the start-finish straight. And steering wheel in hand. Let's do it. So off we go. Down the start-finish straight on the Grand Prix Strecker. Somewhere around here we should be braking and turning into the wiggle. This is the 24-hour configuration, so it's a very tight one. We go over the rumbles and then we're off down. Now, as I remember on this lap there was some traffic which I catch somewhere in this area. Now this is an important exit. Try and get some good speed out of here down to the Dunlop hairpin. And off we go. There's some kind of gentle curvature to the track, and then we come into the braking area. And we've got to keep it tight to the apex. And then we come up to the Schumacher S. This is a bit of a lift in this car, as I recall. Over the curb somewhere on the right, and then we come out and then up to the hill, braking, turning in to the left and then into the very important right. And again, as I remember, there was some traffic here on this lap. Now this is fast and it's hard to get this timing right. About now, I reckon. Through the chicane and then onto my favourite bit, the Nordschleife. And into Hatzenbach. Use the exit curb if you have to, but not too high. And there's a fast right. And then another fast right, and then a left. And then the slippery right, always slippery there. And then over we go to the last part of Hatzenbach. Always important to get a good exit here. And away we go up towards Floodplatz. This is from 2012, this lap, so the jump should be bigger. Somewhere now, and then turning in. Got to get a good exit. And then it kind of just blends left down towards Schwedenkreuz. And as I remember, there'll be some traffic in a minute. Over Schwedenkreuz coming up and then braking and in we go. And braking heavily after that. Third gear, straighten her up under the trees here, down into Fuchsruhe. More or less keeping it straight, but then at the bottom you've got to turn left. Over the top, and a sharp left, and heavy braking, and right. And hard left, I've now forced, and hard right. And out we go to Metzgersfeld. Tricky one this, it's got some lumps and bumps, and in those days a bigger bump on the apex, I think about here, and then into the S-bend, always a bit slippery on the exit as you come over the crest, and then heavy braking for this hairpin, turn it in, and then away we go through the big bump, and then what we used to call miss hit miss. Our sister car had a big accident there in 2019. Down to Versailles, very slow. Now, that's it. Out of Versailles and then down to Adenauer Bridge. Long left and then short right. Up the hill. And then the Lauder curve should be flat. And then crucial corner, Bergwerk. Love this corner. And then on the power as early as you can. Up the hill. I think I get passed by a GT3 at some point, or a couple of GT3s. Always good for a draft. A couple of left-handers on the way up. And then at some point there's a little wiggle, right left, not much of one. And then a bit of a lift through fairly fast left-hander. And then over a crest. And then into heavy braking. And then we go up to the carousel, which should be about now. It's always very bumpy. Exit, try and keep it smooth on the power, save the drive shafts. And then we go up to my other favourite part of the track, Hohe Acht, which is a left-right over a crest. And you always get a bit of oversteer over the crest, followed by an immediate second right. And then we go right and then left into Wippermann, over the curb on the right, and then right over the crest, and down we come into Brünchen. Normally lots of people here, but there weren't this year because of COVID. And then we have a little straight and then another right. Use the exit curb on this one. And then we come to the ice curve, uphill. Try and stay off the curb on the right if you want to look after the tyres and the wheels. And then down to Pflanzgarten jump. Over it and then turning in. And then left over Pflanzgarten 2 at some point. And then we go through the fast wiggles, got to try and keep your foot in here. Exit, and then a little straight, and then right, and change down one, turn it in, use a little bit of curb if you have to, Schwalbenschwanz, here, and exit clean over the top to Galgenkopf. Very important to get this bit right. This exit onto the long Dottinger straight, super critical for a good lap time. There we go, and then away we go down the straight, which I'm going to try to get right. This is the hardest part for this. I think should be coming to the bottom of the straight about now. There must be the tourist thing coming up, and then takes a while under the bridge and left and through the dip and right and heavy braking, left and right and exit onto the Grand Prix straight, and fingers crossed I haven't made a fool of myself and I'm somewhere close to the finishing line coming up about now. Let's have a look. Oh, where are we? That is the end of the finishing straight. That is not bad, I think. Yep. Ooh, a couple of seconds out maybe. I'll have to check that back on the video. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed it. Have a go yourselves and see what you can achieve. Post what you can do. Cheers.